If you will attain anything in God, you must be consistent. Profitable results are aborted without stability in life. You can't make any impact in any field of life without understanding the way of consistency. You ruin what you start when you are not consistent. When they say something had begun, it means that you have mastered that thing, stayed on track with that thing for a decade. What you did today and maintained for 1 year, sir, you can't command any angelic encounter. When you are not consistent in the path that produces result, failure is inevitable. You don't study the Bible once to cram it. There must be the consistency of it. It's shameful if people have to keep advising you to take your prayer life serious. You ought to be consistent in it. Consistency is one of the keys of mastery. Consistency will determine your flight in life. From the age of 17, I started building this life, you see. Do not think that I woke up and I just became Pastor Obinna. No, sir. The way I'm talking about tonight is the way of consistency, or the way of stability that needs to be stable. Let's talk and see how this particular way now affect our life as individuals, as believers. Many years ago, in one of the messages, I remember I was sitting down and it was Pastor Chris that was teaching. And he said, whatever you're doing and you've been consistent for 20 years, he said, you're a master. That shook me. I met a young man of God who asked me a question, very sincere. He said to me, sir, I have watched you from afar and I love your way. I desire to be like you. Can you give me one? What do I do to gain this stature and just come to this level? And I said, you want one key? He said, yes. I said, consistency. He looked at me and he left. Sir, you are a transgressor if you are not consistent. You can't make any impact in any field of life without understanding the way of consistency. A business you start today and abort tomorrow can never yield result. Every man you see that is glorified in his field had walked with this way that I'm showing you. The way of consistency. Proverbs 11:3. Give me the Message translation. The integrity of the honest keeps them on track. The devoutness of crooks brings them to ruin. You ruin what you start when you are not consistent. You ruin what you've started when you are not consistent. You abort what you've started when you have not stayed in the way of consistency. Young people, listen to me. That path you want to tread, that mountain you want to climb, people have climbed it before you. There is no new mountain. Listen to me. When you are not consistent in the path that produces result, failure is inevitable. You have to maintain consistency to actualize result. Profitable results are aborted without stability in life. You can't gain mastery over the flesh by doing it once. There had to be a consistent effort, a constant consistency in your path. You don't study the Bible once to cram it. There must be the consistency of it. Do you know it's shameful if people have to keep advising you to take your prayer life serious? It's a shame, sir. Haven't been in Christ for 10 years. It's a shame, sir. Haven't been in Christ for 15 years. It's a shame, sir. Haven't been in Christ for 20 years. It's a shame, sir. No pastor should be advised to pray. Your first ministry is prayer. You ought to be consistent in it. You are a shame if we have to advise you to fast. It's a shame, sir. You don't advise me on prayer. No, sir. You cannot advise me on fasting. No, sir. Everything appetizing to the flesh does not bring any glory with it. There is nothing. Anything the flesh loves doing does not bring any profit. Anything, Paul said it. He says there is nothing good in the flesh. The flesh loves to sleep. Check your life. How many years have you slept? What have you produced with it? The flesh loves to eat. You look at it and you ask yourself, what have you gained by eating all the time? Listen to me. Just listen. You listen. I have a lot to tell you. Consistency is one of the keys of mastery. Sir, if you will attain anything in God, you must be consistent. You can't do it on Monday and leave it on Tuesday. No, you have not begun. When we call you beginning, when they say something had begun, it means that you have mastered that thing, stayed on track with that thing for a decade. That is 10 years. And it takes such an amount of time for you now to start commanding angelic encounters. What you did today and maintain for 1 year, sir, you can't command any angelic encounter. You have to stay at it for a decade. You see, you are not yet matured in Christ until these things I'm telling you begin to find root in you. Don't tell me you started 3 years ago. That is not enough. You have not even started the beginner's class. Consistency will determine your flight in life. When you stay with me, I allow you over a period of time to build your prayer altar. You should have a prayer life. Don't look at my prayer life. I have my battle, you have yours. What is chasing you is different. My prayer altar cannot defend your personal battles. They are personal. They need to hear your voice. There is a time where the corporate prayer comes. I know about that. But where is your voice? Adam, where art thou? Not Adam and Eve, where on a day? Consistency. I had to master this. I never knew it was a law. I have said it here. I started building this thing from the age of 17. From the age of 17, I started building this life, you see. I started hearing things early. Who is talking? What is this thing? Who is talking? Oh, least they say you need deliverance. So I kept these things to myself. But from the age of 17, after the appearance, it became real that there is something about my life. Without any mentor, without any spiritual father, without anyone to consult, I began this journey of building it from the age of 17. At the age of 19, I preached a public message before hundreds of people. 19. Nobody advised me from that time till date. Nobody. I seek the advice. Not like I go to someone and say, advise me. No. I sit where elders speak and I pick wisdom. You have to consistently build this life. You make your mistakes along the path. You get yourself up and move. And you must have a picture before you. Consistency. Do not think that I woke up and I just became Pastor Obinna. No, sir. There is the conscious effort to become what you want to become. And there is a picture set before me that I want to achieve. And every day I look at that picture. Is there anything that I'm missing? What will make me not to get this part of the picture? I remove it quickly. Friends that are not contributing to achieving that thing, cut off. Relationships that will not help me achieve that thing, cut off. Consistency. You must own up. You must say no. You must say yes. You must wake up when it's not good. You must not sleep at all times. You have to discipline yourself. There is no consistency without an act of discipline. And every discipline is not pleasant to the flesh. Never pleasant to the flesh. I read more books when I was out of school than when I was in school. I read more books. Still reading. I taught myself by studying the scriptures and looking at the life of people how to be disciplined with money, disciplined with words, disciplined with material things, disciplined with people. I learned them. Many years of personal dying every day. Prayer 16 hours is beautiful, sir. It is not something I talk about. You die, you must die. Consistency, sir. I have never looked for cheap things. No, sir. I hate shortcuts. Show me the way to get there. It is long. I like that one. That's why I did pure science. I love further mathematics. You will sit down, rack your brain. You will look, this equation. You sleep with it, you wake up. You're looking at it. No. This generation will love easy things. A man on a mission is not romantic. A man with assignment is not romantic. A man with divine vision is not romantic. You don't play love where there's vision before you. Jesus, the mother came. Your mother is calling you, say, my mother and brothers are those who do what I say. No romance. No romance. Such a man can't marry. You are either in or you are in. No time to love. You must be ready. Act at all time. Ready. I never deceive myself. Consistency. Put up for me Galatians chapter 2 verse 18. If I build again that which I destroy, I become a transgressor. For if I build again, the things which I destroyed, my God, it says you are a transgressor. A transgressor is an immoral person. When are you going to be stable? When are you going to be steady? When will your prayer life be steady? Like, when are you going to take study serious? When will you sit down with a message of 4 hours and listen to it uninterrupted? When is that time coming? Until that time comes, your enemies will keep hunting you. There must be the consistency to be able to follow. When are you going to stop being distracted? When will you shut your phone, like switch it off and drop it just to attain certain things? When is the question? When? You can't abort what you started. You can't abort a process you started. The consistency. You want to start seeing vision? You want to be prophetic? You want your words to carry weight? All of these things have patterns in God. The consistency is what God is looking for. Are you a man given to prayer? What time is your prayer time? What time is it? Are you consistent with it? What about the work? Consistency. I told you, and I've said it here. I grew up knowing 7 a.m. my dad is not at home. 7 p.m. my dad is back. You call him from 9 p.m. he can't go out. Even when he lost his closest friend and they call him by 10 p.m. we're there. He said, what are you going to do? He said, no, they will wait. Tomorrow morning we will now go to the place. He says, if you rush in life, they will rush you. I learned that. But some of us, 11 p.m. is just like daytime. You are roaming about like a monitoring spirit. That's why you come to church and sleep. Because if you can sleep early, you wake up early to start the prayer. You still press phone by 12. You are the ancestral spirit that we're trying to chase. Some of you are on things that does not benefit your future. You are on things that does not benefit. There is nothing you will gain from that thing. Like, there's nothing. I am telling you, there is nothing. The future only waits for those who are prepared for it. And the future gives you what you give to it. Lift your right hand. Say, Lord, help me. Say it again. Say, Lord, help me.